Hi everyone, it's Kowallis here today, and I'm going to answer some questions about my books, After Image and Incender, and the third one coming out in November called Duality. So some of the questions I was asked, the first is what inspired me to write these books, and I kind of have to say that I don't really have one singular inspiration. I knew I wanted to write something that was dystopian, and I knew I wanted to try to get as, real as possible with it. And so that was kind of my big focus. And so my first idea was literally just a woman that had a power. I didn't know what power that would be, but she had a power and she was being held prisoner by a government. And so from that point, I came up with Reggie, who can see the future, and the public. And from that point on, it just kind of spun and became the story that it is now. And then as far as the second one, the one singular idea that I had was a street fighter. And so that's how Ransley was born. And again, it was kind of the same thing. I didn't have one singular idea for where I wanted the story to go. In fact, when I started both of them, I didn't even know where I wanted them to end. And so that's kind of the answer to that question. Who's my favorite character and why? The moment I started writing Royden's character in Incender, I fell head over heels for him. I think that between his personality and his character and who he is, I think he's completely awesome. And the fact that he can fight, and the fact that he makes light of a lot of things that he probably shouldn't, really kind of speaks to me in a way. So I do love Royden. And so for those of you who have read the books, or if you haven't, I know that I have a lot that absolutely love Royden after reading Incender, and my response is always wait until you read Duality, because he becomes a much bigger part, and he's able to kind of be himself more. I won't tell you why, especially if you haven't read Incender yet, but yeah. Third question. If my book had a candle, what name and scent would I choose? I don't know if I can answer that question. That's really hard. When it comes to the books, a lot of the smells that I talk about are neither nature smells or synthetic smells, especially when it comes to Reggie, where she's kind of in a sterile, drug-induced environment, or you've got Nate, who's just always out in the woods, and so he kind of smells like pine. So I don't know if I could come up with a name, but that's definitely one to think about. For the next question, what's my writing routine? My writing routine is I start with an idea, and I basically pound out my first few main characters that I know I want to have in there. And then from that point on, I write maybe 3 or 4 chapters to kind of see if I have a good grasp on their personalities and how I want the story to begin to start. At that point, once I have a few chapters out, I have to plot everything else, because like I said, with everything else that I've written, I have no idea how I am going to end it. And I'll even sometimes get halfway through a book, trying to plot it, and I still have no idea how it's going to end. So yeah, that kind of goes along with the next question, whether I'm a pantser or a plotter. I'm kind of a mixture of both, which is the best option for me, because I've tried just pantsing it from before, and I'll end up finding out that I just have absolutely no idea where these characters are going, what their story is going to be, and so I really have to start thinking about it and plotting those things out. Next question, snack or drink that I have to have on hand while I'm writing. I I really actually don't drink or snack a lot while I'm writing. It's one of those things that's kind of a distraction for me, and I kind of have to just zero in and write. And so one of the things that I will occasionally reach for when I'm done, when I'm ready to relax, I love herbal tea. And so I have quite a few different mugs and teacups that I love to have my herbal tea, and I have this fantastic herbal blend of chai tea that I love, and it's something I drink year round, but especially around this time of year when the weather starts changing and, you know, it's pumpkin spice everything, so that's probably my favorite. What book I'm currently reading? I am currently reading quite a number of books, actually. I'm one of those people that I'll start one book and then get attracted by another one, and so I'll kind of be reading both, and then I'll have to start reading another one, especially if I kind of start to not feel it so much for another. So on my shelf right now, I'm still working on Catch-22. That one I actually started last year. I'm really close to having that one done. One of my goals is to always read a classic in between doing escapist literature. And so I've got two actually classics going on right now. I'm working on Catch-22, and I'm also working on The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. So I have both of those on my docket right now. And I am also reading The Murder Complex, which is very, very awesome. Trying to make it through that before I reach out for anything else. So all three of those are on my list. What am I currently writing? This is one that I'm really, really excited about. So with my book series, The Inertia Trials, they're all finished being written. Number 4 will come out next spring. I can't tell you the title for that yet, but I'm working on a brand new project. Actually working on 2 projects, but the one I'm putting my focus into right now will most likely be a standalone novel. And interestingly enough, my main character is kind of a play on, not really a play on words, but a kind of an inside joke from reading The Inertia Trials. And so as that kind of comes closer and closer, I'll be able to reveal that as well. And where should you follow me on social media? I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, and you can follow me on any of those platforms. If you'll get on Instagram, I am J_Kowallis Books. And then on Twitter, I am J_Kowallis. And you can find me on Facebook under J Kowallis as well. So I also have a website. I forgot to throw that in there, jkowallisbooks.com, where you can find out more about what I'm working on and about the Inertia Trials as a series and a little bit more about me. So it was so great to answer your questions today, and I look forward to having all of you experience my books. See you later.